My sister is hosting a family roast, and unfortunately, I'm the main target. Growing up, Nicole was always the golden child. Sharp wit, quick comebacks, everyone adored her. I was the quiet brother, reserved and awkward, perfect target material. Our parents never stopped her jokes because it's just how siblings are, but her humor always had an edge. Little digs about my weight, my social life, my career choices, always delivered with a smile, so nobody else saw the knife. Last month, she dropped a bomb in our family group chat. "Hey everyone, I'm organizing a family roast at the reunion. This is going to be epic." The chat exploded. My parents sent thumbs up emojis within seconds. My cousin started planning outfits. Uncle Dan said he was already writing material. I felt my stomach drop. I knew immediately what this was. Another excuse for Nicole to publicly humiliate me with an audience cheering her on. That night I called my parents. "I don't think this roast is a good idea. It feels like a setup." Dad laughed. "Come on, son. Learn to take a joke. It's all in good fun." Mom chimed in. "It'll be wonderful bonding for the family. You're being too sensitive. Too sensitive." That phrase had followed me my entire life. My girlfriend Casey noticed I was off the next few days. When I finally explained everything, her face hardened. "You don't have to go. Set boundaries." But backing out felt like proving them right. Like admitting I was the weak, oversensitive loser they all thought I was. I sent Nicole a private message. "Hey, can we keep the jokes light? I'm not comfortable being the main target here." Her response came fast. "Oh my God, you're being so dramatic. Relax. It's going to be hilarious. I promise to go easy on you." That promise meant nothing. Then the official roast rules got posted. Long list of guidelines, but one section jumped out. "Everyone's fair game, but we're going to show some extra love to our special guest of honor, my brother." Extra love, right? That's when I started planning. See, Nicole had always been careless with her secrets around me. Late-night phone calls complaining about mom and dad, text rants about her husband being boring and how she'd married too young, stories about lying to our parents about money. She trusted me because I was harmless, the quiet brother who never fought back. I spent 2 weeks building a folder, screenshots of every cruel text she'd sent me over the years, the conversations where she trash-talked our parents behind their backs, her complaints about family members she was so fake nice to, her confession about cheating on a work certification test. Everything organized chronologically, with dates and contexts. The reunion arrived. I showed up early with my folder in the car. Casey gave me a look. "You sure about this?" "Completely." The roast started after dinner. Nicole was electric, working the room like a professional comedian. She started gentle with a few jokes about Dad's terrible fashion sense, got some laughs with Mom's cooking disasters. Then she turned to me. "So, my dear baby brother finally decided to show up. I was worried he'd be too busy at his very important assistant manager job." The room laughed. She was just warming up. For 10 minutes straight, she destroyed me. My failed relationships, my participation trophy life, my weight gain since college, my boring hobbies, my lack of ambition. Every insecurity I'd ever had laid bare for entertainment. The family was dying, tears streaming down faces from laughter. Uncle Dan actually fell off his chair. I sat there and took it, let her think she'd won. When she finally finished with a dramatic bow, I stood up slowly, pulled out my folder. "That was amazing, Nicole. Really? Your best work yet. Now it's my turn." Her smile faltered slightly. "Oh, I didn't know you prepared material." "Oh, I prepared." I opened the folder. "These are screenshots from our text conversations over the years. Let's start with this one from last Christmas." Nicole's husband Tom stood up slowly. His chair scraped against the floor. "What exactly are you about to share?" His voice was too calm. Nicole grabbed his arm. "Baby, it's nothing. He's just being dramatic." But Tom's eyes stayed locked on my folder. "I've been wondering why you've been so secretive lately." The room went dead silent. Tom turned to Nicole. "What did you tell him that you didn't tell me?" Nicole's perfect composure shattered. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I glanced at the first screenshot, the one where she called Tom boring and said marrying him was her biggest mistake. And right there, with Tom staring at me waiting for an answer, I made the choice that would end her marriage. I turned my phone screen toward Tom. The text was dated from about 6 months ago, sent to her friend Ashley at like 2 in the morning. I mean, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking marrying Tom. He's so boring. Same routine every day. Wake up, work, dinner, TV, sleep. I feel like I'm living with a roommate, not a husband. Biggest mistake of my life, but at least he makes decent money, I guess. Tom's face went pale. He just stood there, staring at the screen like he couldn't process what he was reading. The entire room had gone completely silent. You could hear the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen, that's how quiet it was. Nicole's hand dropped from Tom's arm. "Tom, baby, I can explain," she started, her voice shaking. "I was just venting to a friend. Everyone says things they don't mean when they're upset." Tom didn't even look at her. His eyes were still fixed on my phone. When were you upset 6 months ago? His voice was eerily calm. What happened 6 months ago that made you so upset you'd call our marriage the biggest mistake of your life? I was probably just having a bad day, Nicole stammered. You know how I get sometimes. It didn't mean anything. Tom finally turned to look at her. His expression was unreadable. A bad day. Right. He turned back to me. What else is in that folder? Nicole lunged across the table trying to grab the folder from my hands. She moved so fast that she knocked over 3 wine glasses and the entire serving dish of mashed potatoes. Red wine splattered across the white tablecloth, and mashed potatoes went flying onto Aunt Linda's lap. Nicole, stop! Dad yelled, jumping up from his seat, but she wasn't listening. Her face was twisted in panic and rage as she clawed at me, trying to rip the folder away. You're ruining everything, she shrieked. You've always been jealous of me. Always. This is fake, all of it. He doctored the screenshots. Dad and Uncle Dan grabbed her arms, pulling her back as she kicked and screamed. Casey, who'd been sitting quietly next to me the whole time, calmly pulled out her phone. Actually, she said, her voice cutting through Nicole's screaming, I have backup copies of everything, all time-stamped and verified through the original messaging apps. We downloaded them directly from the servers 2 days ago. There's no way to fake that kind of metadata. Nicole stopped struggling for a second, her eyes going wide. You did what? Casey smiled sweetly. We figured you might try to claim they were fake, so we made sure we had ironclad proof. Even checked with a digital forensics expert to make sure everything was documented properly. Mom had her hand over her mouth, tears starting to form in her eyes. Nicole, what is happening right now? What have you done? I carefully smoothed out the folder that Nicole had crumpled. Let me show you what else is in here, I said, my voice steady. This next one is particularly interesting. It's a group chat with Nicole and some of her coworkers. No, Nicole whispered, shaking her head. Please don't. I found the screenshot I was looking for. This is from about 2 years ago. She was complaining to her friends about being trapped in her marriage. But the really interesting part, I paused, making eye contact with Tom, is where she talks about her coworker, Chris. Tom's jaw clenched. Chris from accounting? The same one, I confirmed. According to these messages, they'd been getting pretty close. Lunch dates, after-work drinks, late-night texting sessions. Nothing physical, she claims in the messages, but definitely emotional cheating. She even told her friends that Chris understood her in ways you never could. I wasn't. Nicole's voice had gone weak. Tom, you have to believe me. It was just stupid workplace flirtation. Nothing actually happened. Tom laughed, but it was a hollow, bitter sound. Nothing happened. Right. Just 2 years of emotional infidelity. Just you telling your friends that another man understands you better than your husband does. No big deal. You're twisting everything, Nicole said desperately, turning to our parents. Mom, Dad, you have to see what he's doing. He's been planning this for weeks, maybe months. He's trying to destroy my life because I made a few jokes about him. This is insane. Mom's face had gone from shocked to something harder, something I'd never seen directed at Nicole before. A few jokes? Mom repeated slowly. Nicole, you've been torturing your brother for years, and now we're finding out you've been lying to all of us. About Tom, about your job, about everything. I haven't lied about my job, Nicole snapped. I'm a senior marketing analyst. Everyone knows that. I smiled. About that, I pulled out another section of the folder. According to this text conversation you had with your friend Jenna, you lied on your resume about having a master's degree. You claimed you graduated from Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management in 2019, but you never actually completed the program. You dropped out after 1 semester but kept it on your resume anyway. The room erupted. Aunt Linda gasped. Uncle Dan's mouth fell open. Tom took a step back from Nicole like she was a stranger. That's fraud, Casey pointed out helpfully. Resume fraud is a serious offense. Companies can terminate employees immediately for that kind of deception, and in some cases, they can even pursue legal action. Nicole turned to Casey with pure hatred in her eyes. Who the hell do you think you are? This is a family matter. You're not even part of this family. Casey stood up, matching Nicole's glare. I'm the person who helped your brother verify every single piece of evidence in that folder. I'm the person who called Northwestern's registrar's office and confirmed you never graduated. I'm the person who found out you've been fraudulently claiming professional credentials for 3 years. And actually, I reported it to your company's ethics hotline 2 days ago. You did what? Nicole's voice came out as a strangled whisper. Anonymous tip, Casey continued calmly. Provided all the evidence. Your HR department should be receiving a full report tomorrow morning. I imagine they'll want to have a conversation with you first thing Monday. As if on cue, Nicole's phone started buzzing on the table. She grabbed it, her hands shaking. The color drained from her face as she read the screen. It was her boss. She looked at the phone like it was a bomb, then at Casey, then at me. Don't answer it, I suggested. Might make things worse. But Nicole's hands were trembling so badly she accidentally hit the speaker button as she tried to silence it. Her boss's voice filled the room, professional but cold. Nicole, this is David. I need you to come to the office first thing Monday morning. 8 a.m. sharp. We've received some serious allegations regarding your credentials that need to be addressed immediately. Bring any documentation you have regarding your educational background. This is urgent. The call ended. Nicole just stood there, phone in her hand, staring at nothing. Her perfect life, the one she'd built on lies and cruelty and fake smiles, was crumbling in real time, and every single family member was watching it happen. Mom stood up from her chair. The sound of it scraping against the floor made everyone flinch. She walked around the table slowly, deliberately, until she was standing right in front of Nicole. For a moment, nobody moved. Mom just stared at Nicole like she was trying to recognize her own daughter. Then Mom's hand flew up and cracked across Nicole's face. The slap echoed through the silent room. Nicole's head snapped to the side, her hand flying to her reddening cheek. Mom had never, in all our lives, hit either of us. Not once. Nicole stumbled backward, shock and pain written across her face. I raised you better than this, Mom said, her voice shaking. I raised you to be honest, to be kind, to care about other people. Who are you? Because the person standing in front of me right now, I don't recognize her. Mom, Nicole started, tears streaming down her face now, smearing her perfect makeup. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Didn't mean for it to happen. Dad's voice cut through the room. He was still sitting at the table, but his face was red, and I could see tears in his eyes too. You've been lying to everyone for years. To your husband, to your employer, to us. You've been cruel to your brother his entire life, and we let you, because you were our golden child, because we thought you could do no wrong. Dad put his head in his hands. I'm ashamed to call you my daughter right now. I'm ashamed that we let this go on for so long. We failed both of you. We failed you, he looked at me, by not protecting you, and we failed Nicole by never holding her accountable. The room stayed silent except for Nicole's crying. Then Tom spoke up, his voice eerily calm. I'm staying at my brother's place tonight. I'll be filing for separation tomorrow. Don't call me. Don't text me. My lawyer will be in touch. Tom, please. Nicole grabbed his arm, but he yanked it away like her touch burned him. Don't, he said sharply. Just don't. You know what the worst part is? It's not even the cheating, or the lies about your job, or any of that. It's that I've been breaking my back trying to be a good husband, trying to figure out why you seemed so distant, wondering what I was doing wrong, and all this time, you thought I was boring. That marrying me was a mistake. He laughed bitterly. Well, congratulations. You got your wish. This marriage is over. He walked out without looking back. Nicole tried to follow him, but Dad stepped in front of her. Let him go, Dad said quietly. You've done enough damage. Nicole made one last desperate attempt to salvage something. She turned to the family members who were still sitting at the table, most of them frozen in shock. This is all his fault, she pointed at me, her voice rising to a hysterical pitch. He's only doing this because I rejected his romantic advances years ago. He's been obsessed with me, and when I turned him down, he decided to destroy my life. The lie was so absurd, so disgusting, that for a second nobody reacted. Then Uncle Dan, who'd been silent most of the night, stood up. That's bullshit, Nicole, and you know it, Uncle Dan said firmly. I've been coming to these family gatherings for 15 years. I've watched you tear into your brother at every single one. I've seen you mock him, belittle him, make him the punchline of every joke. I've watched him take it quietly, never fighting back, never defending himself. And I've watched the rest of us laugh along because we thought it was all in good fun. But it wasn't, was it? Nicole opened her mouth, but Uncle Dan held up his hand. I'm not finished, he said. This accusation you just made, it's vile. It's a last, desperate attempt to turn everyone against him because you know you've lost. Well, it's not going to work. Not this time. My cousin Jen spoke up from across the table. I have stories too, about the way you've treated him. Remember last Thanksgiving when you accidentally spilled gravy all over his new jacket? Or the time you convinced everyone he got fired from his job when he'd actually gotten a promotion? You've been gaslighting him for years. And the Christmas when you told everyone I was dating a married woman? I added quietly. That rumor destroyed a relationship I actually cared about. She wasn't married. You made that up because you thought it would be funny. Nicole was hyperventilating now, her eyes darting around the room looking for anyone who might be on her side. But every face was either angry or disappointed or disgusted. Aunt Linda stood up, potato still on her lap. I think you should leave, Nicole. This party is over. Nicole looked at Mom one more time, pleading with her eyes. But Mom just turned away, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Dad wouldn't even look at her. Fine, Nicole spat, her sadness turning to rage. Fine! You all want to side with him? The loser who's never accomplished anything in his life? The guy who still works a dead-end job and lives in a crappy apartment? You're all going to regret this. She grabbed her purse and stormed toward the front door. But as she yanked it open, she came face to face with a crowd of people holding phones. The venue had a wedding going on next door, and some of the guests had wandered over when they heard the commotion. Hey, aren't you that crazy woman from the video? One of them asked, holding up their phone. Someone had already posted the meltdown to social media. The video had her screaming, crying, the slap, everything. "Oh my God, it is her," another guest laughed. "This is better than the wedding." Nicole's face went from red to white. She tried to push past them, but they were blocking the doorway, all of them filming now, asking questions, laughing. The humiliation that had been contained to just our family was now public, viral, permanent. She finally shoved through them and ran to her car in the parking lot. I watched from the window as she fumbled with her keys, finally getting the door open. She sat in the driver's seat for a moment, and I could see her screaming, pounding the steering wheel. Then she tried to start the car. Nothing happened. She tried again. Still nothing. That's when I noticed her tires. All 4 of them were completely flat. Someone had let all the air out. Casey came up beside me at the window. She had a small smile on her face. That wasn't me, by the way. I know it looks bad, but I swear that wasn't part of our plan. "I believe you," I said, though I had my suspicions about who it might have been. Uncle Dan had left the party about 20 minutes before Nicole's meltdown, saying he needed some air. He'd come back just before she tried to leave. Nicole was on her phone now, probably calling for roadside assistance or an Uber, but the wedding guests were still filming, still laughing, asking if she was the crazy roast lady. A few of them approached her car, knocking on the window, asking for her side of the story. She stayed in the car, head down, while the videos kept recording. Tomorrow, she'd be all over social media. The woman who had a complete meltdown at a family roast. The woman whose marriage ended in front of everyone. The woman whose entire life fell apart in one night. And it was all because she couldn't resist being cruel. Because she thought she was untouchable. Because nobody had ever held her accountable before. I turned away from the window. The party was definitely over. Family members were gathering their things, saying quiet goodbyes. Nobody knew quite what to say. This was supposed to be a fun reunion, and instead, it had turned into a nightmare. Mom pulled me aside before I left. "I'm so sorry," she said, fresh tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry we didn't see it sooner. I'm so sorry we let her treat you that way. You tried to tell us, and we didn't listen." "It's okay," I started, but Mom cut me off. "It's not okay. We failed you. Your father and I, we failed you. We chose her version of events every single time because it was easier than admitting we raised someone capable of this kind of cruelty. That stops now. Do you hear me? That stops now." Dad came over and hugged both of us. "We'll make this right," he promised. "I don't know how, but we'll make this right." Casey and I left the venue around midnight. The wedding guests were still outside, some of them filming Nicole's car. Others had already left to post their videos online. By morning, number family roast meltdown would be trending. But that wasn't my problem anymore. In the car, Casey reached over and squeezed my hand. "How do you feel?" "Honestly," I said, thinking about it, "I feel lighter, like I've been carrying this weight for years, and I finally put it down." She smiled. "Good, because that was the most badass thing I've ever seen. The way you stayed calm, the way you had everything organized and ready. You didn't just beat her. You destroyed her entire fake life with receipts and witnesses. That was beautiful." I laughed. "You helped. I couldn't have done it without you." "True," she grinned. "I did do a lot of the investigative work, and I do expect payment in the form of dinner at that nice Italian place you've been promising me." "Deal," I said. We drove in comfortable silence for a while. My phone kept buzzing with texts from family members, some apologizing, some asking if I was okay, some asking for the full story. I'd answer them later. For now, I just wanted to sit with this feeling. The feeling of finally being heard, of finally standing up for myself, of finally watching someone face consequences for their actions. Nicole had spent years making me the punchline. Tonight, she became one instead. And while I didn't take pleasure in her pain, I couldn't deny the satisfaction of watching karma do its work. My phone buzzed one more time. It was from Uncle Dan. "Just wanted you to know, I'm proud of you, kid. Sometimes family needs a wake-up call. Also, I don't know anything about any tires, but if I did, I'd say they deserved it." I smiled and put my phone away. Tomorrow would bring more drama, more fallout, more consequences. But tonight, for the first time in years, I felt like I could breathe. Casey turned on the radio, and we drove home through the empty streets, leaving the wreckage of Nicole's perfect life behind us. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.